Let's continue on in Corinthians. Dear brothers and sisters, if I should come to you speaking in an unknown language, how would that help you? But if I bring you a revelation or some special knowledge or prophecy or teaching, that will be helpful. Even lifeless instruments like the flute or the harp must play the notes clearly, or no one will recognize the melody. And if the bugler doesn't sound a clear call, how will the soldiers know they are being called to battle? It's the same for you. If you speak to people in words they don't understand, how will they know what you are saying? You might as well be talking into empty space. There are many different languages in the world, and every language has meaning. But if I don't understand a language, I will be a foreigner to someone who speaks it, and the one who speaks it will be a foreigner to me. The same is true for you. Since you are so eager to have the special abilities the Spirit gives, seek those that will strengthen the whole church. So anyone who speaks in tongues should pray also for the ability to interpret what has been said. For if I pray in tongues, my spirit is praying, but I don't understand what I'm saying. Let me read that one more. Hang on just a second. Let me pause and then go ahead and went ahead and got the rest of the the next verse for us. Well, then, what shall I do? I will pray in the spirit, and I will also pray in words I understand. I will sing in the spirit, and I will also sing in words I understand. Let's move on to Daniel, and I'm going to be reading this in the New Living. And when we get to towards the end of Daniel 11, the Antichrist is the king of the north. Yeah. The Antichrist is the king of the north. Some years later, an alliance will be formed between the king of the north and the king of the south, the daughter of the king of the south. Now, by the way, a lot of this, I think, at the very beginning is about different empires back in antiquity, but it will morph into the Antichrist. So these king of the north, king of the souths go through different transitions, and eventually you do get to, I think it's possibly like a spiritual king of the north, king of the south that transfers over time, just like the seven kings of mystery Babylon transferred their power over time. Like Nebuchadnezzar may have been the first one. I think he was, unless they're including Nimrod. I'm going to go with Nebuchadnezzar, beginning at Babylon. And of course, the Lord called him. But the first of seven, ending with Trump. So it's always a fusion of time, if you will. And it's just let God be true and every man a liar. This is just my speculation, because you can tell at the end that he sets up the abomination of desolation. It clearly states it, that the king of the north does. But is all of this time that they mention the north the Antichrist? I do not think so. Some years later, an alliance will be formed between the king of the north and the king of the south. The daughter of the king of the south will be given in marriage to the king of the north to secure an alliance, but she will lose her influence over him, and so will her father. Yeah. To secure the alliance, she will lose her influence over him, and so will her father. She will be abandoned along with her supporters. But when one of her relatives becomes king of the south, he will raise up an army and enter into the fortress of the king of the north and defeat him. When he returns to Egypt, see, This goes way back, right? He will carry back their idols with him, along with the priceless articles of gold and silver. For some years afterward, he, king of the south, will leave the king of the north alone. Later, the king of the north will invade the realm of the king of the south, but will soon return to his own land. However, the sons of the king of the north will assemble a mighty army that will advance like a flood and carry the battle as far as the enemy's fortress. Then, in a rage, the king of the south will rally against the vast forces assembled by the king of the north and defeat him. Love you very much. Ask questions anytime. That's what I'm here for.